This morning, Suella Braverman was challenged on Breakfast TV about how she responded to the Equality and Human Rights Commission, which said that her illegal migration bill, which is going through the House of Commons today in its final reading, risked exposing people to serious harm. And she said no. On the contrary, it was a necessary law to set up a deterrence, and at the same time it was matched by proposing safe and legal routes for asylum seekers, for genuine asylum seekers. Well, this afternoon we heard the reality. The reality is that those safe and legal routes will not be proposed for 6 months after the current bill becomes law. So we're looking at something which will be proposed towards the end of this parliamentary term, just before the next election at the very earliest. So this is some sort of pie-eyed promise. It's shoving something into the long grass. It's not realistic. So her response is in fact a dodge. And there's two more dodges in this bill which make it extremely worrying. The first is that no child will be, or the option to be able to deport children will be used very rarely, and the option to ignore judgments by the European Court of Human Rights will be used very rarely. But the fact is that they are in law, should this bill go through, even if they are to be used very rarely. It's the same sort of nonsense as the Stormont break, to be used very rarely. What is the point of putting things into law if the idea is that they should be used very rarely, if at all? They are in law. I don't really understand this obsession that the present government has got to flout the international laws very rarely. Simply to do something once very rarely is to commit a crime. If I very rarely commit murder, I am still a murderer. If I very rarely ignore the rulings of the European Court of Human Rights, then I am ignoring international rulings. I don't understand the reasoning of this. We'll wait until the dust settles a little and see how Parliament votes.